Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I am so delighted that you are here with me today. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how the universe right now, the energy is causing emotional problems to surface for us, or it's causing emotions that we still need to deal with to come forward, and how we can identify, recognize those emotions, and then clear them in a way that makes us feel better and allows us to release them in a healthy way. So if this feels like this is happening for you right now, then this episode is really going to be beneficial and you're going to want to stick around and listen to what I have to say. All right, so before we get started on today's episode, I want to remind you that if you want to join me on Patreon, for just $5 a month, you can get 2 extra episodes of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. You will always have 2 new episodes that are never aired on my regular podcast page. And also you will get video of the interviews that I do when I have guests on, which is kind of fun to see who it is that's actually talking and who I'm interviewing. And if you want to get the all access membership for $10 a month, you can also get free readings and also guided meditation. So the link is in the description. I would love to have you join me over on Patreon. All right, so to today's episode, what are we talking about? Right now, the energies are very intense, and it's bringing about a lot of emotional baggage for a lot of people. You may notice that there are things popping up that you thought you resolved, you felt like you had taken care of it, and yet you're getting triggered again. It's all happening because we are still trying to clear. Remember that when you are healing, the healing process really never ends because it is like layers of an onion. You heal one layer and then there's another one there waiting to be healed. And that doesn't mean get discouraged, oh my gosh, this is never going to end. It gets easier, it gets better, but we still have things to heal. And right now the energies are very intense. It's intense and there's a lot of stuff coming up for a lot of people. It can be inner childhood wounding or past life wounding. A lot of things may be coming up for you right now. So today I want to talk to you about how to deal with what's coming up. And I know that we've talked about this before, but when you don't deal with emotions, they end up becoming trapped in the body, and that ends up causing physiological problems for you. Whenever I do Reiki work with clients, I always pick up on emotional things that my clients are going through. That shows up even before the physical symptoms do. And what's interesting is that it correlates to the different chakras in the body. So people who experience low self-esteem, generally that's always the solar plexus chakra. Like, okay, there's a block there, we need to do something about it. Or someone who is experiencing jealousy, greed, is being super judgmental, usually has a blocked heart chakra. So each of these feelings and emotions that come up generally also correlate to a blocked chakra. So getting Reiki is one way that you can also work on the emotions, because Reiki, in a Reiki session, at least I do this. I don't know about every Reiki practitioner, but I always unblock the chakras when I do Reiki with people. But there's also other things that you can do. So when you are experiencing a certain emotion, it's important that you identify and locate the emotion physically. So one way to do this is to take a few minutes, find a comfortable place to sit, close your eyes, and for a few moments, just meditate in silence, focusing on your breathing so that you can get grounded. And after you have sat in stillness for a few moments with your eyes closed, focusing on your breathing, recall some circumstance in the recent past that was upsetting to you. It might be a time when you felt like you were mistreated. It may have been an argument that you had with someone, or maybe there was some injustice that happened to you somewhere. Whatever it was that caused you to become emotionally upset. For the next 30 seconds, try to think about that incident with great detail. Try to picture what actually happened as vividly as you can, as if You're reporting it to a newspaper. You're observing it and watching the event. You're not the event or the argument, so you're not in it and it's not emotionally upsetting you. You're merely witnessing and observing what it was that happened from the perspective of just being a silent observer. As you witness what is happening, you're also carrying the effect of the meditation that you just did. So you allow yourself to maintain the vantage point of looking at this event as though you were just a witness, not with the intensity of the emotions that you felt. Now try to identify exactly what it is you're feeling. Maybe try to put words to the incident that describe how you are feeling. Be as exact as you can. Did you feel unappreciated? Were you treated unfairly? Give the feeling a name and come up with a word that really captures that feeling and that experience. So again, your first step is to identify and locate the emotion physically. Then you need to allow yourself to allow your attention to move away from that word and instead allow your attention to wander in your body. Allow yourself to become aware of the physical sensations that arise in your body after you've identified what this emotion is. The mind and the physical sensation in the body really are what that emotion is. And they really can't be separated. That's why we feel emotion in our bodies. So let your attention pass through your body as you're recalling the experience and locate where those sensations occur as you remember this incident. For some people, it can be a tightness in their chest. Some people feel it in their throat, especially if they felt like maybe they weren't heard or they weren't able to speak their truth. Wherever it is in your body, you're feeling that emotion is where you're holding it in your body. And then it's important to express the emotion. So now you're going to express the feeling that you're feeling. So place your hand on the part of the body where you sense that the feeling is located. So if it's on your throat, place your hand on your throat. If it's your chest, place your hand on your chest. And say out loud, this is where it hurts. If you have more than one location, do that for each location. Pausing and saying, this is where it hurts at each location where you're feeling that pain, feeling that emotion trapped in your body. When you feel physical discomfort, it means that something's unbalanced in your experience. And now this all comes from Deepak Chopra. So he says that when you experience physical discomfort, it's because something is unbalanced in your experience, either mentally, physically, spiritually. Your body knows it, and every cell in your body knows that. Behind the pain that you're feeling is actually this wholeness, and you're trying to bring yourself back to this place of wholeness. Write your feelings out on paper if you want to. This is an effective way to really write out in third person what happened. And I talk about radical forgiveness all the time, but I love that website and I love the worksheets that they have on their site that are free to use. And this is really good also because oftentimes when we experience something and we're triggered, there's often a need for forgiveness that comes with it. And the radical forgiveness is a great way to walk you through that. And it also has you looking at the experience as though you were just a third-party observer, telling what happened without actually being involved with the emotional part of it. Here's what happened. Then you add the emotional part back in, and then it allows you to come to this aha moment where you realize why you were triggered. why did I have this huge emotional response to this thing? It didn't seem like it should have been that big of a deal, but I blew up and I had this emotional response. And generally it's because you had some event in your past that elicited the same emotional response, and that's still trapped somewhere in your body. So we have to release that. We have to identify it, and then we have to be able to release it. And then we're able to express it. The next thing that is important is to take responsibility. Be aware that the feelings that you're experiencing are your feelings. And that's sometimes really difficult because when, for example, let's say you feel jealous about something, and you might think to yourself, I shouldn't be feeling that way. That's immature to feel jealous. But it's important to identify that. Even if you don't like that you feel that way, or maybe you feel like you shouldn't feel that way, it isn't right that you feel that way, that's okay. We're not judging ourselves anyway. And this is not about being critical and judging. We have a choice in how we react to situations every day. And when we can start taking responsibility and realize, hey, when this thing happened, I didn't react that well. It doesn't mean we're trying to make ourselves feel guilty or beat ourselves up. It just means that we recognize that the way that we responded maybe wasn't the way we wanted to respond, and maybe it's not the way we want to respond next time. By taking responsibility for that and identifying that, it allows you to next time form a better response. Because now I know when this happens and I get triggered, this is how I respond. If I'm aware of that, I can be more conscious about next time not responding in that way. And it truly does help you to be able to understand what your triggers are and to say, okay, I don't have to react that way next time. Instead, what could I do? I could have done this instead. And then by thinking about that and taking responsibility, you can come up with better reactions. And this sounds probably very weird to you because what do we rehearse our reactions? But honestly, that's how we learn. We were taught to react emotionally, and many of us do. And that's why we get so upset when things happen. But if we can plan it out and say, okay, if this happens to me in the future, here's how I want to respond. That allows us a better chance of not blowing our lid, not having that emotional reaction, and being able to deal with things better. So don't feel the guilt about maybe the way that you reacted, because you can't change that. That already happened. It's the past. You cannot change it, make it go away. However, you can react better in the future. And in this way, also, if you identify and recognize, hey, maybe I didn't react so well, you can release the guilt and the shame from the fact that you didn't react so well, because you're human. Let that go and know that you're just going to use it to help you in the future react in a better way. Release the emotion. So wherever in your body you felt the pain or where you were holding on to it, whether it was tightness in your chest or tightness in your throat, with every exhalation of your breath, have the intention of releasing that tension. So for 30 seconds, just sit there, feeling the painful sensation leaving your body with every breath. Maybe saying to yourself, I am letting this emotion go. This emotion served me well. I don't need it anymore. I'm letting it go. And with each deep breath, allowing yourself to let go of that pain and of the emotion, because you don't need it anymore. It's not serving you. Sometimes you can even sing or dance or do something to help you, like take a nice long bath with essential oils, whatever lifts your emotions. And some people like to write them down and say, I'm letting go of this emotion because it no longer serves me. You can write it down on a piece of paper and you can burn it symbolically as your way of saying, this is no longer what I'm going to be holding on to. I'm going to release this and I'm going to let it go. And it's going to make you feel so much better to actually release it and to let it go. Because again, those emotions did serve us at one point. They helped us to learn a little bit about ourselves. But now they're not really helping us. They're just keeping us stuck and making us feel miserable. So it's time to let those things go. We learn from them. We know that they've taught us something. We appreciate what we've learned, and we let the rest go. The next thing that I love about using the online program Radical Forgiveness is that there's a section for you to write out, what was I supposed to learn? And in that section, if there was someone else involved, it is a chance for us to forgive that person, to realize that we played a part in whatever happened too. We're always 100% responsible for 100% of our actions in any relationship. So it allows us the chance to take responsibility for our part and to forgive others for their part. And sometimes that allows for people to connect with the person that they needed to forgive and to let them know, hey, this is what happened and I want to talk to you about it. And you can hash things out together if you feel like that's something you want to do, but you don't have to. And the great thing about the radical forgiveness is it's for you. The other person doesn't even have to know you've done it. You don't have to discuss with the other person, but absolutely you have that option if you feel like that would be beneficial for you. And give yourself some credit. This is not an easy thing to do. It is not easy at all to forgive anyone, including yourself, especially yourself. So forgive yourself and others for any part that you or they might have played in this pain that you're experiencing. And allow it to boost you to say, you know what, look, 6 months ago, I would not have forgiven this person. Look how much I've grown. Look how far I've come. And really celebrate how amazing you are, because that is growth. That is real growth, and you should be super proud of yourself, because I know people who will never forgive anyone in their lives. If you wrong them, that's it, you're dead to them. That's not growth. Okay, resentfulness, unforgiveness, all of those are very low vibrational energies, and they don't help us at all. Forgiving someone does not mean you're weak or that you're going to let them do it to you again. Not at all. In fact, quite the opposite, because what it actually does is it allows you to observe the patterns of behavior that have possibly put you in the situation where others have taken advantage of you. And it allows you to stop doing those same things you've been doing all along. It allows you to make better choices and to see those patterns start to emerge and say, oh, wow, I was very naive and trusting of these people. And no longer am I going to do that. I'm going to start being a little bit smarter about who I trust, who I talk to. And again, that's not the same thing as putting a wall around your heart. It's just saying that you're going to start recognizing the red flags when you see them. And, you know, when we're very naive, sometimes we don't look for those red flags, or maybe we see them and they're staring us in the face and we still are like, this person's perfect. No, it allows you to see the warning signs, to see the red flags so that you will not get taken advantage of. You start speaking your truth, standing in your power, and standing up for yourself. And that's what it's all about. I have been drawing that card so many times lately, to take back your power and stand in your power. That's what many of us are being asked to do right now. We are being asked to take our power back and to stand in our power so that we can live the best version of our lives and be the best version of ourselves. So it's time to deal with these emotions and to let them go, so that you can live a life that is more joyful, with more ease. And really, those things can't happen if you're holding on to old stuff. So let it go so that you can feel better, both physically and emotionally. And I wanted to pull a card for you today to also just give you a message and give you some encouragement. And the card that I pulled is from my deck, Divine Whispers, which you can still purchase on my website if you would like them. You can get them on the offerings page. And it's have a little faith. The universe is asking you to have faith, my loves. You may not be able to see anything happening in your situation right now. However, the universe is always working behind the scenes on your behalf to bring you what is for your highest good in divine timing. There are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you don't even know about. There are many players involved in the situation. Therefore, it takes time for the universe to orchestrate everything. You don't have to have all of the answers right now, and you don't have to know how or when it's going to happen. Don't give up on your dreams. Your miracles are just around the corner. There are a few mantras that go with this card that you can say to yourself every day. The first one is, I will walk by faith even when I cannot see. The next one is, I trust that the universe has my back. The next mantra is, I trust that the universe is working on my behalf to bring me what is for my highest good in divine timing. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you have the faith. Keep the faith. Know that your miracles are just around the corner. This feels like a tough time. It feels like very heavy and tough energy, but you will get through this and things will be even more beautiful on the other side of it. So keep your chin up, keep going. You've got this. If you want to work with me, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com. You can see all of the services I offer. You can get Reiki, a reading, or a coaching session with me. You can even book a free discovery call with me to see if our energies align and if I would be a good fit for you. I hope that you guys have an amazing day from wherever you're listening. As always, I am sending you so much love and light. Don't forget, you can purchase my podcast merchandise if you want a t-shirt or a motivational mug or bag or blanket or whatever. You can go to the store. It's in my show notes. The link is there. You can go directly there and purchase yourself something. Thank you to those of you who support me each and every day. If you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please leave a positive review. Thank you to those of you who do that. I am sending you guys so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.